Your monthly closing accounting and bookkeeping checklist. This is kind of a rare gem, it seems, that I accidentally dug up recently. I've been working with a bookkeeping manager in my own company, Nerd Enterprises, to develop a whole plan for building a bookkeeping practice, strictly cloud-based, strictly monthly fees, no hourly billing, none of that. And we started talking about setting up the systems and procedures and thinking in terms of as we hire bookkeepers to help with this, we want everything streamlined, systematized, and organized in a way that anybody new could come in and we could easily show them, here's a document that shows you the process, here's what we do every month. And in the course of me looking through some of the old documents that I've created over the years, I came across this. And I opened it up, and after looking at it, the more I looked at it, the more I said, I can't believe I have kind of let this go, that I haven't been using this. And then I had a one-on-one session recently with one of our schoolofbookkeeping.com students, in which she asked me about monthly procedures, and I had just gone over this a day or two prior to that, so I said, you know what, I got to show you this template, and I was curious to see what she would think, and the more I went through it with her, the more she said, oh my God, this is amazing, can I have this? And I said, of course, and I gave it to her. So it's going to be available for free for students of schoolofbookkeeping.com. If you're not a student and you're watching this, please, even if you sign up for 1 month and cancel, which I hope you'll stay, of course, because I think there's value in staying and a lot of resources that we provide. But even if you signed up for a single month just to get this template, it's probably worth at least 4 or 5 months worth of subscription fees. So do consider that. I'm not going to make it publicly available for free. I am going to make it available for students of schoolofbookkeeping.com. That said, let's take a look and see what's inside here. I created this years ago, and I realized it must have been a really long time ago because inside of this I had references to keeping notes and things in Microsoft OneNote. I haven't used Microsoft OneNote in years, so I went through here, and as best as I could, I changed all those references to Evernote, which is what I switched to from Microsoft OneNote. So if you happen to catch a reference to Microsoft OneNote that I might have missed, let me know, and I'll update it, of course. But, and keep in mind, the context here is this is something I created for myself. These notes that I'm about to go through with you that I made are notes that I made as reminders to myself. So first and foremost, how do you use this? This is meant to be used as a template for every client. So once you download this, make sure you save a copy that's blank. Then for each client you're going to use it for, save a copy for that client. And then it's going to be used every month, so you're going to want to save a copy for each month, right? So you're going to use this throughout one particular month, and then next month you're going to start with a new one of these, right? That's the idea of how this is meant to be used. Ask yourself this question. This is, again, a reminder I put in there for myself more than anyone else, because I would catch myself in the past wanting to rush through things for a client because I just wanted to get done with their stuff and move on and get the next one done. And so I had to stop myself and ask myself, if these were my books, how would I review them? How detailed? In other words, the idea here is this is your reminder that you should treat every client's books as though those books were your own. You should be just as thorough and detailed as you would be with your own set of books. If you go into your bookkeeping services with an eye towards that ideal of handling your clients' books the same way you would your own, then I don't know about you, but when I look at my own stuff, I am thorough. I look at everything 6 ways till Sunday. I do all kinds of analysis. I make sure that I'm satisfied that everything looks 100% right. That's how you should treat your clients. And if you do that, you'll provide so much value to your client that not only will they stay with you forever, but they'll refer you a ton of business because they won't be able to get over the amazing service that you provide. With that said, I want to highlight the notes that I've made here for you. And yes, I'm going to read them to you because I want to discuss them with you here while I have your attention. The idea here is to go through each checklist and stop for a minimum of 1 minute to consider each item. And in order to sort of force you to do that, what I'm going to require of you, if you're going to use my template, is that you're not allowed to just mark something NA. You have to put in it, and you'll see when I start looking at the checklists, you'll have to put an explanation for why it's not applicable. Because forcing you to put that explanation in there means I force you to stop and think about it. Because the problem with a lot of checklists in our industry that I've noticed, and I've been guilty of it myself when I used to work at a CPA firm and we did audit and review checklists through CCH. It was so easy to just go through a section and paying very minimal attention, just mark everything NA, NA, NA. And because last year's work paper said it was NA, so it's got to be NA this year too, right? Never stopping to consider maybe something changed that made one of these things, become operative. So really, really important as you're going through these checklists to make sure that you don't just mark things NA, but if you're going to mark it NA, you have to document why it's not applicable. You have to document what you did to determine that it still isn't applicable. And make sure you go through the books and get things cleaned up and caught up. That's one process, and you can certainly use this checklist for that process. But that's basically going to be a matter of going through the balance sheet line by line, making sure all those numbers are accurate, and then doing the same with the P&L. And then this is really meant to guide you through on a month-to-month basis once you're in what I like to call maintenance mode, meaning the books have been cleaned up, everything ties to the tax return, you've confirmed and verified everything that you should to make sure that the books are accurate, and now here's how you keep them accurate, right? So I gave you a little space to make notes. Remember, this is the context here is that this is going to be used for one particular client on one particular month. So that's what these notes are for. At a high level, things that you might want to tell yourself. Maybe you put notes in here for next month, so that next month when you go to make a copy of this month's, it could be kind of like in auditing, we used to have a page that we would put in the file called Notes to Future Auditors. Things that we wanted to make sure the auditor who worked on it next year would be aware of. Do the same kind of thing here. Give yourself, or if it's going to be somebody else who's looking at it next month, give that person ideas about what they need to look for, what things they need to be aware of. That's what I would put here in this notes section. I've hyperlinked it just to make it easy to navigate around. So as you click on these, and you'll see each schedule also has a link right back to this tab. Of course, you can use the tabs at the bottom to navigate, and maybe even better, right-click these little arrow guys right here, and you get your list.